Oofda. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. Hello, everybody. I apologize. I'm a minute or two late. I was down in Tacoma again, as usual, for a Monday. So I had to come back, and I stopped by the... What's wrong with my phone thingy? I had to stop by the grocery store for something. Okay, my phone thingy is acting weird. There we go. Anyway, so I had to scarf down some dinner. My lovely fiance is here, so she had some lovely stew ready for me. Luckily, she wasn't the one stewing. So hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Monday. I'm glad you're here. Come on in. Say hi. Let me know you're here. So far, it looks like I'm talking to myself. So I just never know. But haha, off-camera kiss. How are you guys? How's everybody doing? Hope you had a lovely Easter weekend, if you celebrate that. I don't know if I celebrate it or not, but I kind of like Jesus. He's a cool dude, you know. Actually, I love Jesus. I thought at one point about starting a group, Pagans for Jesus. So I'm still bustling about getting myself organized. So I apologize. In a minute here, I will let you know what we're up to. All right. Boom, ba-doom, boom, boom. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being here as I frantically get myself organized. We're good. Yay. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and we are going to do some cards. I'm just going to light up my candle, light some sage, so I can smudge my cards. I was down in Tacoma, as I am every Monday. Hey, Deb. Welcome. It's down at Crescent Moon. And I just like to sage my cards after doing readings in one place. I like to smudge them before doing them someplace else. So, plus it gives me an excuse to continue talking and let people realize that we are on and to join us. All right. So, happy Monday. My phone holder thingy is acting weird. Let me see. All right, let's try this. That works. All right, hello. So thank you again for coming. We are going to pull some cards. If you're new here, the card deck I use is the medicine card deck. Each card has a different animal totem on it, And what we do is I pull 3 cards, and all you have to do is choose a number between 1 and 3, and whichever card corresponds to the number you chose, that is the animal that has chosen to walk with you, guide you this week, and lend you their strength, courage, whatever qualities that animal has. And feel free to choose more than one. There are no rules here, only guidelines. So feel free to choose all 3 of them or just a couple of them and see what happens. And then I always upload this video to my YouTube channel. So if you miss something or you forget who chose you this week, and you need a little more guidance, or in the middle of the week you'd like to change your answer and choose a different number, you can always go back, rewatch, and get the other medicine. So I'm just adjusting some things. There we go. Da, da, da. All right. So I'm going to shuffle the cards. Choose your numbers. And we'll see who shows up. All right. Oh. Uh-huh. Nice. All right. So choose your numbers. You got your numbers chosen already. And also, if you're new here, not familiar with what I do, if I have enough time at the end, if I don't get too verbose or loquacious, we will do a guided shamanic journey at the end, so you can actually meet with the animal who chose to walk with you this week, or swim, or fly, as the case may be, and let you actually get from their own mouths what their message is for you, what they came to help you with in this week. So, choose your numbers. Boom! Number 1 is whale. I just put the old, now I have the old song from 2000 Leagues Under the Sea, the Disney version. Got a whale of a tale to tell you lads, a whale or a tale or two. Whale, if this is your card, whale is the record keeper. I do have a whale of a tale. Oh my God, so many tales of whales and other stuff. Whale is the record keeper. It is said that whale sings the history of the world in her song. And it's interesting because a number of years ago, I read, it was like in Scientific American or something like that, like an actual science magazine. And scientists were saying how whale songs stay the same year after year, except that each year there's a little bit tagged on at the end of it. And they couldn't figure out why. I'm like, ooh, I know why, because they just added last year's stuff to it. But that was a real big validation. I love when science kind of validates or backs up what is actually like myth and folklore and such. But anyway, so whale is the record keeper. So if this is your card, what I would recommend, if you don't already, is to journal. You're going through something now, or you've come through something that is not only for your benefit. The telling of your tale is going to serve others. And so whatever you're going through, if it's right now, if you're in the middle of something, or if you just came through some big change, challenge, hero's journey, write it down. You are kind of the trailblazer, the one to go ahead, and the telling of your story has healing for others that will hear it. What you have come through, the courage and the wisdom and everything that you have brought forth to face these challenges, will be an inspiration for others. It's like you did the actual, machete out hacking away at the jungle to get through. But because you had the courage to do that, you cleared the way for others to find their own way through the jungle. It's like you give others permission. By rising into your own power, finding your voice, you give others permission to sing. You give others permission to find their own voices. What else, Mr. Whale? Part of what that is, even on the card here, they've got a picture of the star up here. That's actually the dog star Sirius. And according to legend, according to myth, that is where whale came from originally. And so they put it on the card to show that whale always has his bearings. It's like the dog star Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. And so whale always has his bearings. He always knows where home is. And that allows him to navigate through the watery world, right? And in most instances, water represents emotions. And so if you think of the ocean, yay, hi Leslie, I'm glad you stayed up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yay. I love when people show up. Thank you. So whale, and so what I just said, the telling of your tale, the telling of your story is going to give others a view of their own North Star. Because you plumb to the depths of the emotions of whatever trial, challenges, hero's journey you are on, you clear the way for others to find their own North Star, to be able to plumb the depths of their own emotions, and to become, monarchs of the sea. Whale does not get pushed around by the currents or caught in the flow. Whale decides where they're going, and they go there. They navigate. They're in charge of where they go. So be the storyteller. Don't be afraid to tell your tale. Whether it's on your website, or if you have a blog, or even like an open mic storyteller night type thing, your story needs to be told. People are waiting for it. And just like whale, the water is the best conductor of sound waves. So a whale on one side of the planet can actually talk to a whale on the other side of the planet. In other words, by speaking your story, you have no idea how far it's going to go. Just like they talk about, the ripples on a pond. Every good thing you do, every act you do creates ripples in that pond, and they go forever. Those ripples don't stop. So be the storyteller. Tell your story, find your voice, sing your song, and it doesn't have to be in writing either. It could be in art. It could be in dance. It could be any and other way. Hi, Amanda. Thanks for joining us. Yay. So find your voice, find your song, and share it. Your voice was meant to be shared. And in the sharing, you lift everyone. Like, I was talking to a client the other day, and I was talking about how, whenever we raise our own frequency, we raise the frequency of the world. And he was like, yeah, high tide raises all ships. And I was like, oh my God, that is profound. I don't know if I'd ever heard it or I just forgot about it. But here we go with the tides, right? Raise your frequency, tell your story. And by raising your own frequency, you raise the frequency of the planet. The more we own our stories, the more others, it's like that Marianne Williamson quote that's really long, so I'm not going to attempt to even say it, but, it's about, there's nothing enlightened about playing small to keep other people comfortable, or so I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote. But there is nothing enlightened about playing small. If others are uncomfortable, that is their lesson. If you are being true to your heart, if you are being authentic and telling your story, expressing yourself in whatever medium you use, and others are uncomfortable, that's their challenge. You didn't do that to them. That is their reaction. That is actually their heart opening. Something in your story resonated with them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be upset. Even, no matter how others take it, and hopefully most people are like, oh my God, that was amazing. I'm so glad you shared it. But when we do raise our frequency, sometimes it pisses off other people because they didn't want to wake up yet. And so, but that isn't your job. Your job is not how it lands. Your only responsibility is in the presentation. Be yourself. And however people take you is their own business. And if you're being authentic and they're upset about it, you just opened their heart that much, because otherwise they wouldn't be upset. You just actually raised their frequency and they're not used to it. Give them time. You just planted seeds, and we're not here to piss off the world, but we are here to put new vibrations into the world, right? And those vibrations are going to upset people because they're so stuck in their fear, stuck in wanting things to stay the same, that, as we come along and shake up the normalcy of what's accepted in society, they're going to be upset. But that is their lesson. So I'm just feeling in if I want to say anything else about that. Another thing that came to me too with Whale and the storyteller thing. I teach a class, and I'm hoping to teach it pretty soon again, but it's about personal mythology. You know, it's like we have the mythologies of all the cultures all over the globe, ancient cultures, modern cultures, and we each have our own personal mythology, our own stories, how we relate to the world, to the universe, to Creator, right? We all have our own creation myths. And most of the time, those stories have been told to us by our parents or our teachers or our government or whatever, telling us who we are, right? And we accept them without questioning them. If this is your card, perhaps it's time to go back and rewrite your story. No matter what has happened in the past, you are here right now. You survived 100% of the challenges you've been through. You're the hero of your story. Rewrite the past rather than all the pitfalls and like, oh, I'm so bad, I'm so broken. Tell it from the hero's point of view, like, I survived that. I just barely got out with my life, right? Indiana Jones the hell out of it, right? And turn every peril, every challenge into a win. You survived. And it makes all the difference in the world. You know, and change your creation story, right? Most of us in the society have the old Adam and Eve mythology. That's where we came from. That's who we are. We're indelibly broken and sinful from the day we are created, right? How can you live a life? No wonder we're so wrecked with guilt and trying to make things right because we feel nothing has ever been right. But when you have a creation myth from a loving creator, whether male or female or other, you know, that you come from love, that you are whole and perfect the moment you came into creation, etc., that shifts everything. We need to know who we are, and you get to write the story to remind yourself that you are a divine being of light. You are not sinful. You are not tainted. You are not broken. You are whole, you are divine, and you are love. So write the stories that reflect that. Make a new creation story. Write a new birth story, why you're here, why you came to be in this world. What was it that you felt you could bring to the world? Rewrite your story. The facts might stay the same, but you know, you could do it like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. If you know about that, it's like you've got the whole story of Hamlet, and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern were friends of his, and they appear in just a couple places in the play. Well, then someone went and wrote a whole, I don't know if it was a book or anything first, but there's a movie called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. And it does the whole story of Hamlet from their point of view. And their paths just cross Hamlet's at those same spots where they appear in the Hamlet play. And it's like from their point of view and what other things are going on behind the scenes, and like rewrite your story. Don't take it from someone else who you are. Write it yourself. Okay, so that was whale. Number 2, if 2 is your card, you got moose. The interesting thing about this tonight is that according, and I don't know what tribes or anything, but there are native myths that say that moose used to be whale who decided to come back onto land. and they're still pretty water oriented, right? They still swim, they still hang out in the marshes, and in fact, something I just found out a few years ago up here in the Pacific Northwest. I laugh, but it's not funny, but it's a surprise that moose makes up a huge proportion of the orca diet. Because up here, like in the Seattle area and north, moose are constantly swimming from the mainland out to the islands. And when they do that, they're prey for the orca whales. So there's that connection between 1 and 2, is that moose is kind of like the one that came back from the sea to be on the land. And what moose medicine is all about is self-esteem. It's what I call majestic dorkiness. If you've ever seen a moose in person, holy crap, they are majestic, they are regal. It's like royalty. You're in the presence of royalty. They have that kind of presence. To me, it's similar to the presence of a lion. It's got that kind of king of beasts kind of feel to it. And at the same time, moose is one of the dorkiest looking animals on the planet. Basically, revel, celebrate in your dorkiness. Moose knows he's dorky, but he prances anyway, and the thing is, he is underestimated a lot in that, like, hunters used to think, oh, we'll go hunt moose. They'll be easy to track because they're going to burst through the bushes and they're going to break branches and just, create upheaval their whole way. We'll be able to find them really easily. Well, moose is the largest of the deer family. And moose is just as nimble as any other member of the deer family. They are hard to find. They can leap. They can run silently. They can't be found either. They have a grace and a nimbleness to them that you wouldn't expect. And on top of that, literally, is the antlers, right? The crown, literally from the crown. And it's a radar. I mean, think about moose's antlers. It's a radar to divinity, to spirit. So when moose comes along, it's about carrying yourself, like bringing up the, acting again, when you're in a play or when you're acting or whatever, they always tell you, pretend that there is a nail in the ceiling and there's a string from that nail coming down holding the top of your head. Carry yourself with that dignity, with that majesty, as if you're being held by a string connected to the ceiling. Because it's about, in shamanism, we call it being the hollow bone. When you're a shaman, what you strive for, I don't know if that's the exact right word, but the desired result that you're looking for is to be the hollow bone, to be able to get your ego out of the way, get your issues and all of that. That's why, as a shaman, or if you're on a shamanic path, and other spiritual paths too, for that matter, you're constantly having your fears brought up in your face, because you need to deal with your issues to clear them out so you can be a clearer channel for spirit to come through, to be the hands and the eyes and the voice of spirit in the world. And Moose brings it along, being that hollow bone, accepting everything about himself. You know, when we're growing up, there's a theme here, that you'll see when I get to the third card as well. But, we all have those things about ourselves that we try to hide. I don't want anyone to know about this. If they knew X, Y, and Z about me, they wouldn't like me or whatever. And so we hide it, right? And it's like if you think of it as an extra limb or something, you're walking around with an arm tied around your back, behind your back. You can't be yourself. You can't fully express if you've got part of yourself in hiding, part of yourself tied down, trying to hide it from others. And so we hobble ourselves. We actually handicap ourselves for the sake of fitting in, for the sake of not being, overwhelming for people, to make people comfortable with us, when we're meant to shine. We're meant to fully express all of who we are. So take those bonds off, cut the band-aids, whatever it is. Let yourself be who you are. You are perfect. You are enough. There is nothing shameful about you. And those things that you may have been teased about, and those things that make you feel like you don't fit in, that's your uniqueness. Those are the exact gifts you brought to give to the world, right? Like they say, if you don't fit in, you came here to change the world. And if you don't fit in, those things are meant to shine, to show that there are an infinite number of paths. There's as many paths as there are people on the planet. There's more paths. It's infinite. And we get in our little duality-minded tunnel visions thinking this is right, this is wrong, right? And so the world needs more of us to express our true, authentic selves in order for the rest of the world to wake up. And being our authentic selves doesn't force someone else to be just like us. It gives others the permission to be their authentic selves. So, carry yourself like Moose. Be unafraid. Be unabashedly yourself. That doesn't mean you have to rub it in everyone's faces or jump up and down. Look at me. Stand in your power. Stand in your majestic dorkiness. To be the sign. To be just the silent presence of wholeness. This is what wholeness looks like. I might be missing a limb or something, but I'm whole. This is who I am, and I am majestic. I am divine, and so are you, right? Okay. So number 3, which kind of brings us full circle with everything else I've been saying tonight. Swan. That literally brings us full circle, because Swan is largely, basically, the story of the ugly duckling, right? We're raised in a world that we don't belong in. If you're watching this, chances are really good that fits you. You weren't like other kids. You didn't think like other people. You saw things differently. Things didn't make sense to you. That's the ugly duckling. You're a swan being raised among ducks. Not that there's anything wrong with ducks, but you're not a duck. And so we spend our early years trying to fit in, again, like I was talking about with moose, trying to kind of hobble ourselves, putting on the hat to hide our donkey ears, whatever it is. But it's those traits again that are what the gifts that we brought with us for the world. And it's by dealing with those things that we become more purely and truly and authentic, oh my God, authentically ourselves, right? This fits with what I was saying with Whale about rewriting your story. Swan is about grace and surrender. Knowing that there's a higher purpose, knowing that there is purpose to your path, trusting that the universe has your back. That again, like I like to quote or kind of para-quote Einstein, the greatest decision you will ever make is whether you live in a friendly universe or a hostile one. If you live in a friendly universe, and it is friendly, I promise, everything happens for your benefit. The universe conspires on your behalf so that even the challenges of overcoming teasing or differences or whatever, those just add to your strength. It is those challenges that, like the river stones, or the like when you're on the ocean, or like we used to visit Lake Superior all the time. I just saw my friend Sarah popped on, who we used to go to. We used to go to Duluth and Lake Superior all the time as kids, and we'd sit there for hours throwing the rocks back into Lake Superior. And these rocks were just round and smooth, and they felt so good in your hands, right? And it's because of all of the being rolled back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, banging against the other rocks, rolling through the sand by the waves. And so the waves took away everything that wasn't them, and they turned out smooth. And that's kind of the idea of Swan. All those rough edges get taken apart. How do I want to? It's like a stone tumbler, right? A rock tumbler. You put grit and sand in there to take the rough edges off, so that you can see the shine that's actually in the stones. It's that roughness. It's that having to deal with your issues, having to face who you really are, that makes you stronger ultimately. And it's like the kindest people in the world tend to be the people who have gone through the most heartbreak in their lives, right? It's the challenges in life that hone us, that pare us down to our most essential, pure, authentic selves. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say. But it's through the grace of accepting all those challenges and continuing to step forward through them that creates the swan, right? And if this is your card, you are meant to be seen. Swans are these, beautiful, pure, white, angelic birds, right? I don't know anyone who sees a swan and goes, ew. Everyone, swan is an inspiration, right? And again, as you tell your story, of how you became Swan, others find their own majestic dorkiness and are inspired to move forward. You become the example of what's possible in the world. You become the example of if they can do it, I can do it, right? Sorry about the car that just went by. It's one of my neighbors, and the car is so loud. Okay, where was I going with Swan? There's, when you take everything in stride, it's like, and not from a cynical point of view, oh God, here we go again. What new hell is this? But you're like, okay, here we go. I'm here. This is presenting itself, and I am going to go through it. Whatever it takes, I'm going to move forward. That grace and that surrender. And it's when you surrender to Spirit that Spirit starts to carry you, right? You don't have to get there of your own volition. You don't have to fight to get there. You're already this. It's just uncovering all the crap that was put upon you from childhood, telling you you're a duck. No, you're a duck. What are you trying to be? You're a duck. You're not a duck. You're so much more than a duck. And again, ducks are lovely. I love ducks. I have a duck wing. I found a duck on the road, and it agreed to let me take its wings. I love duck. Duck is beautiful. But swans are angelic. They are inspirational. They're all about love, right? So know that you're already Swan. You're already perfect. You're already whole. You're already high vibration. It's just a matter of allowing that to express through you, to cast off all the expectations that have been put on you. Stop believing other people's stories about you and who they say you are. It's time to realize who you really are as that divine being of light walking in the world. Okay? Awesome. We still have time for the meditation. So, awesome. So, like I have said before, everything I say here is to your ears hearsay, right? It's secondhand knowledge. And my job as a shaman is to empower others, to help others realize their own guidance. And so when I can keep from going on too many tangents during these videos, and we have enough time at the end, I like to do a guided shamanic journey with you so that you can actually meet whichever animal chose to be with you this week and ask them yourself what their message is or what it is that they came to help you with. And again, not rules, but guidelines. Sometimes a whole different animal will appear to people during this and have a message for them. Whatever happens is perfect, okay? In fact, it's those little surprises that validate the entire experience. When something happens that you wouldn't expect, that you wouldn't have, imagined in the first place, it just validates the entire experience. So I am going to beat my drum here a little softly in the background just to kind of carry us. And so go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it for a moment and let it out. And Feel yourself sinking into the chair or into the floor, whatever surface you are sitting on. Feel it holding your weight. That's what it's for. You do not have to hold yourself up. Take another deep breath in. Hold it for a moment and let it go. And bring your awareness to your third eye in the middle of your forehead. And just as if it were one of your other two eyes, open it up and look out into your imagination. And find yourself on the edge of a tree line, looking out over a vast meadow. You can feel the coolness of the shade trees behind you, the song of the birds. And in front of you, you can see the dashing and darting of multicolored insects, dragonflies and butterflies. You can see the waves of the wind in the grasses. Feel the warmth of the sun on your face. And there in the middle of the meadow, next to a great river, is a large flat rock, just begging to be sat upon. So make your way out toward the rock, feeling the grasses brushing against your legs, against the tips of your fingers, the buzz of the insects in your ears, the warmth of the sun, the coolness of the breeze. You hear the bubbling of the river flowing right past the stone. And when you get there, go ahead and crawl up on the stone. Sit comfortably, feeling the sun-warmed stone beneath you, the sun on the top of your head, a cool breeze on your cheek. And from this place, we call in whichever animal chose to be with you this week, to lend you its guidance, its strength, its special talents and qualities. May come from the river, from the sky, from the trees, from the grasses. We just sit with expectant curiosity, expecting them to come, and curious of how they will do so. And when they show up, greet them, pet them on the nose, scratch them behind the ears or under the chin if that is appropriate. Thank them for coming. Look them in the eyes and see the love they hold for you. And now I'm going to be quiet for a minute or two, and so you can ask them, what is your message for me? What do I need to know at this moment? What is it you came to help me with? So go ahead and ask as I fall silent. So it comes time to let them return from whence they came, knowing they are always with you, and knowing you can always return to this magic meadow, this special stone, to connect with them, to hear their wisdom again. But for now, thank them, hug them, look them in the eye one last time, and let them return to where they came from. And as they go, it becomes time for us to return as well. So start to become aware of your body in three-dimensional space. Feel the chair or the floor or whatever surface you are upon. Start to feel the body, the temperature of the room, sounds in the room. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You even tap on your legs or your arms to bring yourself back into your physical body. And when you are ready, slowly at your own pace, feel free to open your eyes, coming back fully into physical reality. Welcome back, everyone. How did that go? I so love doing this in person because I get instant gratification for finding out what people experienced, but I can't do that on the videos. But if you would like to comment on the comments underneath this or whatever, share which animal appeared, what their message was, I would love to hear it. If you have questions, I would love to answer them. Know that if nothing happened, that there is no getting this wrong. If nothing happened, if they didn't show up, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or you did anything wrong. It just means that they were not ready to come in this form for whatever reason. Just pay attention to your dreams this week. Pay attention to conversations, like pay attention to the skies or the fields or whatever. You might suddenly see a bunch of pictures of whale or moose or swan coming over the internet, or you'll hear people mentioning them, or there'll be news about them or something. Just pay attention. They are still here. They are still working with you, whether you could see them or hear them or not. Okay? So that is almost time. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining me. This is one of the highlights of my week. I love doing this. Even when I'm exhausted from doing readings all day long, I always look forward to this. And so I thank you so much for your presence, for making it worthwhile. Know that if you are interested in getting a reading of your own, please contact me. We can do Zoom, or if you're local, we can do a reading in my office in downtown Renton. You can contact me through my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can set up appointments there. You can check out the other shamanic services I offer. I'm going to be putting up some new classes, etc. So keep an eye out for that. What else? Wednesday nights, I do another video at 7 o'clock Pacific where I do the sacred pipe ceremony. So if you've never been to a sacred pipe ceremony or you want to take part, please stay tuned to my Facebook page. That's where I put the event copy and event stuff. So I would love to have you there. What else? I will share this to my Facebook page, this video, and I will also upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked that out, please check out my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, etc. It helps me out, I guess, get in the the algorithms or whatever all that business is, but that helps. Share this video. If there's anyone who you think might get something from it, feel free to tag them in the comments, even after I post the video. Share it to pages or on your page. I appreciate all the sharing. Sharing is caring. And if you feel moved, I also have my PayPal link in the description under this video. And I gratefully accept any donations you might want to give. This is my full-time job now, so every little bit helps me be able to focus more on my shamanic work and not have to worry where money is coming from, etc. So I love my job. I am here to support you. A shaman's job is to support the community that supports them. So thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Come back and see me next week, same time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Invite your friends, share. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, my friends. I will talk to you soon. Go shining. Bye.